check this out. Tam is out today. We miss you so much, girl. But ladies, what I really want to know is, who is ready for some girl chat?
Yes!
Everybody ready. Yes, all right. Well, check this out. First up, while we can all agree that bullying is totally wrong, it seems like not everybody agrees on one controversial solution to it. According to Psychology Today, many bullied kids and teenagers nowadays are begging their parents, get this, to let them get plastic surgery to change their appearance so they won't be bullied anymore. For example, CNN recently reported on a 14-year-old girl who begged her parents to get her ears pinned back because she was being called Dumbo at school. In fact, when she went in for the procedure, per her doctor's recommendation, she also got her nose reduced and her chin altered. 14, guys. And while she was extremely happy with the results, many critics think this sends a dangerous message and that parents should be encouraging their kids to embrace and love themselves as they are. That part. Yeah. So I think this absolutely raised red flags for me because I don't know about anybody else, but you don't stop developing until you're like sometimes in your mid-20s. Like,
yeah.
Dude, if I'm gonna keep it 100, like, I had a low-key inverted nipple until I was like 20 years old.
Okay.
Like, I seriously thought they were done, and then I looked down and I was like, oh. Okay.
And they'll still grow. We were having this conversation the other day. I swear my breasts kept growing in my, like, even into my 30s. They they still,
change.
if you gain weight, it fluctuates, things happen. My issue with this is, what is the message that we are sending to our children? What, that the bullies are right? That what they're saying about you is correct? So, you know what? They were right. Let's fix it.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Being somebody that has gone through insecurities, or like I've even shared with you guys, I got my breasts done when I was 19 years old. You go from one insecurity to another insecurity. I went from the insecurity of, oh, I want bigger boobs, right? To now everyone's staring at my boobs, and this is really embarrassing. Like, you will go from being bullied for one thing, you're never gonna please everybody, and somebody's always gonna find something that's wrong with you. So you gotta be okay with yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
At first, I thought about it, and I believe in general, you're right, but we live in a different time now. And what I mean by a different time, social media and things, I mean, you basically, it used to be, it just would be you at your school and you're being bullied at school. But now when you put it on social media, now you have these teens that are actually being bullied by the world, almost, on the World Wide Web. So we have to find a way to combat that, because it's real easy to sit back and say, you know what, you're going to grow out of your tree monsterness. You're going to really, seriously, you're a tree monster today, but I promise you will be a beautiful willow tree once you get older. But that's harder now in these times.
Yes.
I agree that it is so much harder.
Yeah, but the thing, the message I think that you are saying to the bullies is, you won, you're right, your perspective on me is really what matters. I agree with you 100%. And so I don't think that you don't want to tell the bully they won. And you also want to really own yourself before they own you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, you kind of got to just go ahead and own what it is about you.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody's gonna call out something about you, first of all, know that you're changing. Know that in your adolescent years, it's the most beautiful time that you actually are so adorable, but you don't see it yourself. And if everybody, I'm sure, when you look back at your childhood pictures, although it might be a little goofy, it might be a little bit awkward, but you're mad cute.
But yo,
and you
Jeannie,
can't, you can't
I
get
want
back
to say it in the nicest way. Even if you're not cute, who cares? Like, even if you're not cute, like, not everybody is gonna be socially the cutest, most beautiful thing.
Because we're here now, we're older. I was trying to put myself as that 11-year-old or that 12-year-old that's sitting here and we just don't understand. And I'm saying it's just different times. And what I'm saying is maybe there is a solution that we have to combat the bullying, because it's real easy to say, yeah, you know, you're beautiful. But then you go to school and you got all these people on you. Then you go online, you got all these people on you. And sometimes you can't take that.
The issue is that we keep putting all of this freaking pressure, what is the word I'm looking for? All this freaking blank on beauty. Who gives a crap? Beautiful, not like you. We're putting so much emphasis on, oh, but you're beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. If you're not beautiful, you're not beautiful. And but the point is, that should be okay too.
And
like, everybody's not gonna be the same kind of.
And you gotta own it. Like, if you really have ears that stick out, own your ears.
Yeah, like, bitch, I can hear you.
Yes, exactly.
I think we need to have something in schools to actually teach and actually show students about this, to reinforce this, because just saying it, outside
Yeah.
of the school system doesn't help.
Yeah.
And it's not helping.
Home.
But,
I mean,
but at the end of the
home
day,
life.
bullies exist in life. It's
Yeah.
not going to be
Yeah.
just school.
Yeah.
So I think the work that has to happen is within yourself. At some
Yes.
point, your
Yeah.
parents, you and your kids, you got to sit down and have a talk to
Yes.
be like, baby, you got the baddest ears in the business. Like, don't you worry about them. You know, you can.
Or again, even if it's something that we can be honest with people and be like, okay, baby, I understand. When you get older and that's something you want to do,
Right.
and you want to fix that, I totally get that, and that'll be your decision.
Yes.
But I'm not taking my 14-year-old child to go get plastic surgery.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell her, you got to get used to it now, and when you get older, if that's something you want to do later, no problem, sweetheart. I have no
And
problem
one
with
thing
that.
I will say about plastic surgery, you have to be careful because you know how the doctor came in there and she went for one thing and he was like, yeah, get the nose and
and
your
the
eyes
chin.
and all of
They're
that.
just
You
trying
have
to
be
get
careful.
paid.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get paid. So I think it's so important that we build up our children's insides instead of going and taking them to the plastic surgery.
Yep.
Take them to a therapist.
Yeah.
Take them, spend your money on working on inside of here instead of on here.
I agree. And
continue.
but we need to do something because everybody doesn't have parents that believe or do that kind of stuff.
That's-
So it would help
yeah.
if the schools would do some type of
Counseling,
curriculum.
or if they
Counseling.
offer them
Yeah.
someone that they can speak to. I agree with that.
All right.
Well, speaking of parenting, one British couple is refusing to confront one major issue with their children, the dreaded sex talk. That's right, the couple felt so awkward having the conversation with their 7- and 8-year-olds that they put out an ad offering almost $3,500, $3,500 for any stranger willing to come to their home and give their kids the talk. Topics the couple wanted to cover included consent, periods, protection, STDs, and how to have sex with both genders. They said that one parent will always be home in case the child has questions after the session, but will not be present in the room when the talk is given. So, ladies, do you think that having a stranger explain the birds and the bees is cuckoo or all the buzz?
How long? The session, I guess, would be what?
An hour, however long.
$3,500?
Shoot, I'll
For
do
an
it.
hour?
Hell yeah. I would be bomb teacher. Yo, cousin Jean coming over to your house to teach you about the birds and the bees. Trust, I will get you down. I got graphs. I got stories.
How you start off?
I'll say, well, there's one day, my first time, let me tell you about it. No, I honestly, I like this for families who don't know how to have the topic or have the discussion because I didn't have it with my parents.
Yeah.
Right? You know, in a lot of Asian cultures, I think it's uncomfortable for parents to talk to their children in general, let alone it be about sex. And I think the conversation needs to be had. Sex is a beautiful thing between two human beings, but the most important thing that is left out about sex is intimacy. And most people, I actually wouldn't start talking about sex. I'd start talking about intimacy and what that means in being in love with your body, because when you're in love with your body and you know what real intimacy is, you know the difference between that and sex. And I think that that's what's missing between the conversation. So somebody who is really qualified to talk about this, it's absolutely important in a household.
I think in order to save some money, because everybody doesn't have $3,500 to talk about sex.
What you about to do, Auntie
Here
Lonnie?
it is. Go back to the schools, and I will help you guys out, okay? I will be the Lonnie Auntie Love Clinic.
This
They're
is true.
gonna bring in rolling. Remember when they used to roll in the VCR and the TV on the wheel?
And that
it's gonna be
long-ass
Lonnie
video.
like, welcome, I'm Lonnie Love, and now I'm going to teach you how to have sex. And then she's gonna start doing that thing she does like this. Exactly.
We don't want to do that with somebody we don't like or who's broke, okay?
Oh my gosh! Wait, Jeannie, I have to ask you though. Did Mama Mai teach you about sex or ever talk to you about it?
So Mama Mai says this all the time, that she warned me to not have sex because she says, be careful, you make the mistake, pop the hole, look at you come out the same. She said, no, I literally was an accident. She told me straight up from the bat, like, you accident, I don't mean, it just happened. You don't want this, then you don't want sex, and I love it because I know my mom loves me, so the way she talks to me is okay with me. Like, I'm really abrasive with my own language, but people who know me know that when I'm real cut, dry, throat real, that's real love. And so when she tells me, she's really explaining, like, I didn't understand how to have sex. I was 17 years old. I had sex for the first time, and this is you. That's what happened. So there you go. You want one of you? Go do it. And I was like, I want one of me, so I didn't get pregnant. Shoot, I learned.
I get that. I get that. See, I'm different about it.
About what?
I would really want to have the conversation with my children. I wouldn't want some other stranger having the conversation with my child.
So what was yours
because I
first?
want my mom had the conversation with me.
Mom and
about
Nilda
my
had the
private-
talk?
For sure, about my parts
She's
and
so sweet.
how
She sound
and
like a
what.
bedtime
No,
story.
I need to know everything. What was the lighting like? Where were you sitting?
Initially, the conversation with my mom happened about, it was more so about permission.
Okay.
And that
How old were you?
This is baby. Since I was 4 or 5, we would have conversations about my private parts and why they
Oh,
are
yeah.
my private parts
Yeah.
and that they
What
are
did you
private.
call it as a kid, by the way? Everybody's got a name.
See, my mom would call my butt my coolie. That's so disgusting. And then she would, I know, come, I'm gonna wash your coolie. Oh my God, mommy, that's so gross.
Oh
So
my God.
one, and then two.
But what was the other?
She would say, Mom, I love you.
Just
Me and my
say it.
sister make fun of her. She would say my virgina.
That's kind of cute.
Virgina?
I mean, she meant to say vagina, but I think with her accent, like New York, she'd be like,
okay, your
but she
vagina.
would use medical terms like your vagina and your butt. But she was like very medical and let me know. It was important to her that I didn't call these like my tetas, nothing like that. It was like your breast, it's not funny.
No, you gotta have a name for it.
This is serious.
All parents name it, right? Like mine was my butterfly.
I know, but okay, it is important, guys. I'm taking this very serious.
Okay.
It
go
is
ahead.
important that you also teach your children the medical terms of their private parts, so that if ever someone tries to mess with them, they can know how to tell you exactly what happened to them, how it happened. So I think my mom's concern of having this conversation with me initially was to make sure that nobody was messing with me or did
Exactly.
anything that made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So that was one. And then later on, once I could understand, I think when I was like 8 or 9 years old, then I actually got somewhat of the talk. If I'm honest, she never fully explained it. Like fully.
Did
like
she
I told
tell
you,
you that the
I
pee-pee
didn't know it goes
inside
in
the
there.
butterfly?
I did not know
Okay,
that.
that's what I want. I want to hear that part.
So I think it is important for me the day I become a parent to have that conversation personally. One, because I want my children to get the information from me and not from some of their stupid friends in school. Number two, I also think that if I'm trying to encourage my child to always be open and honest and that we can have talks about anything.
Yeah.
Even the things that make her uncomfortable, I have to set an example.
Right.
That even though it may make me feel terribly uncomfortable to have this conversation with you, there is gonna be a moment in your life as my child where you may feel terribly uncomfortable,
Yes.
but I'm leading by example.
So what age do you ladies think is the right age to have the talk?
Well, I mean, okay, I have to go back with me. My mom didn't give me the talk. I learned it in school. And so that's why I'm
From
a
that
big
video?
advocate. Yeah, I'm a big advocate for schools
Like
because
I said.
there's so many parents, they're uncomfortable. I mean, you see that people were paying $3,500. So
Jeez.
it's like, my thing is there are people that can't pay it. So why don't we make sure that we have some type of sex ed at a certain age
I do agree with
for
that.
kids, because especially in these times of consent,
Yeah.
people don't understand. Because my mama, I don't even know if my mama understood, those terms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because back then it was a different time.
Like consent and
yeah.
So you
what it
didn't
means.
have the talk
and
at
At
all?
all. I learned in school. One day they just popped it up on us. It was a video, and that's when they used to have the napkins it used to have something with like a garter belt that you would wear. This is how old I am, okay? And they showed us how to do it, how to wear the belt and stuff and all that. It was old school.
She's talking like for your like a sanitary napkin, like back in the day.
Yeah.
So
you
she's
used to have
talking
to wear a
everything.
belt.
They taught her
and there's a big
period.
old thick pad like that. That thick.
Dang,
So
Lonnie.
they taught you about your period, what would happen to you, and what age is that? That's like 12 years old?
No, we were younger than that. Because,
11,
this
like
is
10?
projects.
11?
About
I think around
10.
that time, I think when you can actually comprehend and understand what it is, that's when you should really explain it to them. Because I think explaining to a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old what actually happens, it's like, what?
But you explain to the 3 and 4-year-old if somebody is touching.
For
and
sure.
Make those,
I think it should be, as you watch your kids, you start to notice when they pick up on sexual energy
Yes,
or
for sure.
understanding themselves a little bit. I think that is the time to watch. I think it's time to watch your kids and notice how they flirt, how they work with the opposite sex, and have the conversation naturally.
And when they ask, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
When they ask, definitely tell them, because somebody is saying something to them if they ask.
Yeah.
All right?